be able to get to that level, right? And when you meet somebody who's on that level, it becomes a fight now. You don't train to fight, so you train to end that shit. So the only thing I would tell y'all to do is don't be scared to develop that control. Develop that control. And y'all, I've seen y'all plenty of times, so y'all on the high levels, except brother right here, right? I don't know if you got Marshall, you look like you got some type of fight background. So yeah, you're probably high level too. You can start controlling that. One drill I do is with like the phone book and stuff. I don't really like focus mixes. They don't give you that. There's a sound that you're looking for that you know is power. Just like dance, just the rhythm. There's also a sound, right? What's the number one instrument in African music?
Drums.
The drum. It should sound like a drum when I hit the man. That's how I know it's power or not. Okay? I don't want to pick on my brother. Okay?
He knows it.
I get this from my father. I get this a lot from his dad, right? But I understand. You gotta understand when you hit that drum. You gotta hit it. Y'all play drums, right?
Yeah.
Because my dad used to have us play drums. When you hit that drum, it's gotta make a certain sound when you hit it a certain way. Does that make sense? This isn't the sound of power. That ain't the sound of power. Power. You hit it?
Yeah.
Those are the. I ain't do that. That's Man of Steel right here.
Oh, I know.
That's the rhythm I want. That's the. What do you think I'm dancing to? Right? If you can't dance, you can't fight. What are we dancing to? Ain't no music playing. What am I dancing to? Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Right? Boom, 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 boom. Right? I'm making my drums. And all of it's the beat. So even if we playing boom, 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 boom. And you hearing it, right? Like boom, 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 boom. I know that was gonna be a power. You know what I mean? It would caught them open, it was there, That's the rhythm I'm playing in my head. So if I don't develop that, hearing that, that's Hear the, I'm not trying to hit him, right? Because I done did enough to him, right? But you hear that wave. That's the drum. You hear the bass. When you hit a pad, a bag, a board, a wall, you should hear that power. That's what I'm listening for. That's when y'all hit, I'm like, I ain't even got to look. My dad will be across the room and be like, who did that weak shit?
That's what he was listening to.
Because he's listening. Or he'll be across the room talking to somebody and boom, woo, who was that? Okay. Because we know the sound of power, right? That's why I just did a video the other day with one of my new students. We just started kicking. He been to MMA gyms. And he's like, yeah, they taught me a couple kicks. Give me your 3 best kicks. He did them on the bag. Boom. I said, He's like, what's wrong with it, Sensei? It's like, he ain't got no power. And he's got thick legs. I'm talking about Tyson, big boy. You know what I mean? Like, I said, bro, if you kick me with those tree trunks, I should break. You know what I mean? But right now, the way you kick it, I check that shit. I stand in there. I take it. I might take it to get something. You know what I mean? I, boom, jam that shit, and we going right up in your shit. He was like, why would you do my kick? I said, all right, try it. Give me 3 of your best kicks. He gave me 3 good roundhouse. Switched them and everything. Boom! And I just... And I was like, because you're not kicking with your full power. They taught you how to swing your leg. They didn't teach you that control, which is one thing, right? Because the same thing I do with my hands, I'm doing with my feet, right? 100 miles an hour and stopping them, right? By the way, thank you for these. So, right? So he did the kick, and then I just did one. I said, he's all hot. I was like, that's the difference, because I don't have to, it's not about the rah. As long as I know how to get that boom, I know what I'm doing. Boom. Does that make sense? I can just bring this motherfucker from Africa and he's still going, and if I ain't got no hip, I ain't got turn in it, I ain't on no line, you know what I mean? Everything's wrong about it, he's gonna stop that shit. But if I bring that control and I just, he don't feel that, right? Right? So, control. I know I went off somewhere, somebody asked me something. Control. If I give y'all anything, get control. But don't be scared to get in there. right? Now that's part of it, right? That's how we touch. We're not trying to kill each other. And you start learning intent too, from touch. When you start being that way, and when me and bruh first time we touch, it's like, oh, okay, it's all love. I feel love.
Mm-hmm.
We fighting, but I feel love there. That was the first time when we touched, right? We in Baba Kenny's class, and he's like, all right, y'all square. Oh, then that was love. We just started laughing. Then we was like, oh shit, here we go. You know what I mean? You feel the people's intent. I think last time I talked about being comfortable up here on somebody, because most people's breath starts changing. They got to get some space. Mm-hmm. I'm uncomfortable right. When you're uncomfortable right here, you can read your man more than he can read himself. Mm-hmm. I'm listening to your breath. I'm listening to your heartbeat. I'm listening to all of this. You know what I mean? Let alone feeling your energy. You know what I mean? But you can't hide those things. You can't hide those things, and that's what you want. You want to know your man better than you know that he knows himself. But you only do that by knowing yourself, knowing right? I know what I can do. I'm not scared of it. I know what I can do. I know I can stop this bitch on a dime. I just told my students the other week, my dad used to smoke, and he never put out a cigarette. I'm like, what? Never put it out. We had to put it out. Yeah, and not with my hands, with my feet. He's sitting there smoking. Now, break his nose if you want to. I got some missing brothers and sisters that missed the kick. they missed the kick and they went missing. Love. You can't miss that. I gotta put it out. I gotta develop that control. When I have that control, what if I want to take his head off? That's nothing. Right. Mm-hmm. I can put an ash out, right? I can kick the gum out your mouth. He be chewing. You gotta time it. And do that. Can't break the jaw. Can't just blast through it, right? Like anybody on the street would. You got to have that control and timing. And that motherfucker got to be falling out his mouth. And that's how fast you got to get it. That's the control we was taught. And that shit ain't never failed me in these streets, especially when I go to a lot of other dojos. You see they ain't got no control, right? They practicing eye strikes like this. You know, there's no control. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what is that? I don't know if my finger's conditioned enough to even go inside of his skull. This man his eyes are stronger than might be stronger. You know, with my weekend, you don't know. But you don't poke him in the eye either. You develop that control. What do we do? What do I say we do? We right there. I'll touch him right there. I'll touch him in the forehead. Or like I did Vic last time, I just wiped my hand down his face. I was like, yeah, bro, that was all gone. But that's the control we develop. If I can sit here in the middle of the flow and what are we doing when we really fighting and moving? And give me those. Go into my lion shit my brother taught me. You know what I mean? Getting into, I like that. Now I can dig them out this way. You got to develop control. You can't be scared to hit. You can't be scared to touch and be touched.
I was just about to say that. You got to develop being able to get touched. You know what I'm saying?
We was talking martial arts and about what you can give, it's about what you can take. I can't give him nothing I can't take. A lot of people watch on the internet, oh man, leave that guy alone. Listen, he ain't went through half the shit I went through. We just ain't got the video of it. I'm giving y'all video this time as I do it. But you got to be able to control it so you can give it, so you know what it feels like. That's why I do it with y'all too. That's why I come around and do it with y'all, so you see it, you develop the picture, and now you repeat it. Everybody keep looking behind me.
Thank you.
I heard something.
That's about it. Develop your control. Same technique, same drills. Just develop your control with it. Take them a little further. You know, take them faster and stop them quicker, right? Give them here. See how quick and see how close you can get to touching 100 miles an hour and stopping, right? Yeah. And then that's where you are. I'll tell you the best thing, the best secret. The best secret is to practice with kids, the babies. Because you don't want to hurt them. Right. You're not going to hurt them, right? Mm-hmm. They're going to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. When you playing with kids and they get that lick in, that was honest. You didn't cover yourself. And they got that random lick in, right? And when you do it, you still have to be precise, right? You have to develop the control to not raw with the wrist lock and just, let me just, okay, now I know when I got it, right? She starts reacting, right? I don't have to, to the baby. You know what I mean? Is it when I touch her and I grab it and I just start turning it. And if I see her reacting, I know I had it. You know what I mean? There's the only difference between me playing with her doing this and then taking it on a grown man is intent. Vroom! Take your ass out. With the baby, you get them better. You get them techniques way better. Yeah. Way better. Just like, what was that, the video we did with Boo? It was like, why don't you just set the baby down? It's like, you know.
That's who you was holding in the video?
Yeah.
I thought that was her.
Practicing some back and forth with it, you know, just in case you got the baby. Like, I practice like that all the time. I practice for the worst situations. I put myself in the worst situations and I start from there. What if I got my baby and y'all 5 people is trying to jump me? I can't put her down.
The stupidest thing you can
so
do is
you
put
can
her
run
down.
off while y'all beating my ass? Come on now. Nah, she's staying right here protected. You know what I mean? If I got to take off my shirt, wrap her on my back,
and then
and get the moving, that's what we gonna do. That's why I used to love the sling for Dynasty. When I teach class, you would sling, just sit there right there sleeping up just over there. And I done been in so many spars with her right there, she don't even know.
One thing
about when Africans tie the baby on their back, whatever they're doing, the baby's learning.
Yes.
When the baby's on the back, the baby's moving with you moving.
Oh, okay.
Developing nerve.
That's why when the mama put the baby on the back and they move and they doing stuff.
walk quicker too.
As soon as the baby start walking, the baby's doing the
Got the
same
rhythm,
thing, and they watching everything. So when baby's around watching stuff, they're able to do it. But once you're on the back, when they're on the back, they learn coordination, they learn how to move, they learn.
You developing their motor skills.
Yeah.
It's like Avatar. Like you move with them. That's why when the baby's on the front, they're not doing that. They're not learning anything. They just.
Yes, around,
Looking at you.
looking and swabbing.
That's why you put the baby on the back.
Look at his
So
flower.
you learn coordination and be more advanced than other children.
That's why I have. It was like, well, how old can I start them? Bring them.
Also,
I like them crawling around because all those ones that start crawling around, give them a year or two. They're gonna be the ones on the mat, warriored out, biggest warriors because they've been watching it. They're around. And then you know how they start. They start out by watching the big kids do the drills, and then they trying to do 1 or 2 of them every class or now, and then they just jump in one day and we give them. That's how my daughter started. She was not even 2. I'm babysitting her. We in the dojo, you know, the big mirrors around. And I was doing some homework, and I was, you know, writing, and then something hit me. You know how we martial arts. I was like, if I do, and I was just doing that for like 10, 15 seconds, and I was like, yeah, I got to do it. And I looked in the mirror, and she was down there like this.
And getting it right.
Doing it. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, she's been with me. Every time I teach a class, you know, we doing stances, she's crawling through the students' legs.
that's how it's supposed to be. And it also teaches you to be aware, to not just step on the back.
Right.
So you learning techniques, and you like, oh shoot. You know, learning how to step, how to move.
And that's the dance in itself. Yeah, and that's the dance in itself.
You don't want to be the person that's just
Crunch on the baby.
And anything else.
That part too, even with setting them down, right?
Yeah,
You
'cause that
setting
was
them down and now
the
all
most
5 of us
stupidest
is
thing.
moving, and
And then
feet
yoink.
is kicking. What I gotta do is she over here, this is the baby, the red, and I can't do that. She's in more danger down here
Than she is up.
than she would be right here and me
Yeah.
working. I could put her between the wall and me, and we can sit here and work some stuff. But as soon as I do this, and then let her start doing that, scared.
Right. You have no control.
And he got me
Right.
tied up right here.
You gotta go find her.
And I was even saying, like, knowing how to assess the situation. If someone's coming at you and you have the baby, you don't even know if that's their intent is for you to put the baby down because they got somebody back over here. And I'm like, you have to think. And that goes back to you talking about remaining calm. Because when you're in a fight, a lot of people aren't calm. Like an actual fight. If you ever actually been in a fight, if you're not trained or have not been in several fights, you're not calm. So you're not able to think. But when you're calm, you're able to think and assess everything, which would be, I'm not putting my baby down because I don't know, 10 buck or two can come and get him. And then we got a whole nother problem. Then we looking at, what's his name? Liam.
You got a whole nother problem.
Taken.
You know? And you know how many kids get taken a day?
Yeah.
Like that. I've had to take girls out of kidnap vans. I have, bro, I don't know if I ever told you this. I had to stop these fucking Mexicans in the middle of the street during the Breonna Taylor protests, right? When our streets was crazy, right? Long story short, in the middle of Woodward, get out the car. Get out the fucking car. And then my girl was with me. She went, got the girls up out the van, nigga. What do you call them? The decoys started moving and grew. Nigga, I'm like, ooh.
You start to pay attention to
like on some real Panther shit, bro.
Yeah.
Like I've had to rescue kidnapped girls in the middle of them being kidnapped. Crazy. Coming home from the chicken spot. You know what I mean? This wasn't even, you know, we just getting off the expressway and the girl ride with me, she was like, you know, anything funny about that van? It looked like a kidnap van. I was like, you know, I made the jar, I said, it do look like a kidnap van. And then we was like, hold on. You know, and something in my spirit just said, just ride. You know, I mean, we ain't doing nothing, just ride. And he turned, he was in the hood, you know what I mean? And it was summer, so all the kids is out, you know what I mean, walking late nights. Perfect time to pick up something. Because ain't nobody's parents knowing where their kids at 11:30, it was like 11:30, 12, something dark. You know, when you should have been in the house, these 15-year-old girls I pulled out the car, should have been in the house, not walking the streets, right? He's swerving, now I'm seeing, he don't know I'm following, but I'm seeing him follow people. I'm like, oh, he's following them group of girls right there. Oh, he's following them girls right there. Then as I'm following him, I'm seeing the marked cars. There was a woman.
And that's...
A woman
You can't trust?
That's
driving the marked car. That was only one. Then, you know, he went for a while, and then, then the other pickup car comes to the alley. So they got three of them, right? The pickup car is not the car that they put you in the van. You got a marked car that drives around and scopes the scene. Right? And then also stops before the pickup on the end of the street to make sure to communicate if anything is coming or anything is wrong, right? And so then you got the van that'll go and post up from the pickup spot within that block, right? So as soon as the girls hit the alley, the truck picks them up, comes, slide off at the van, they switch and they go. So even if you saw the girls get into their red truck and try to report it, they already in a different vehicle and gone. I got them in the van. They were about to go. Does that make sense?
That's deep.
Yeah, and also because it actually happened to one of my friends. She didn't get into the van, but they were close to getting her. And because Ohio, a lot of people don't realize Ohio, it's a whole entire line from Ohio. I don't know if it comes up to here, but Ohio down to Kentucky. All the way down to the south. It's a pipeline. And my car actually was marked, and I was aware of knowing what markings on cars was, because that's what they say. They mark your car. If they're watching, they mark you. This is who we're looking for. They even do it on your dashboard, your handles. This was on the back where I couldn't see it, where they thought I couldn't see because I was coming from the front of my car. But I always check, not always, but get into the habit of checking all your car because they're marking it because they're watching you and seeing if you're vulnerable or unassuming. But she was already aware what was going on, so she didn't make it into the van, but they were in the process of grabbing, but people around weren't afraid to intercede with making sure she wasn't getting into that van. So what you did, it's just
and you be
being
surprised.
aware. It's
will leave you out to dry. Screaming and niggas putting you in a car, and I've seen, you know, because I work with a lot of, that's one of my passions, child trafficking. I
Same.
hate that. I will bury bodies